Hi friends, hope you are all doing fine. So this is our second session in the topic consumer equilibrium. In this session we will be dealing with the ordinal utility approach to determine the consumption pattern so as to enable the consumer to reach equilibrium. First, why do we need this approach? The earlier approach was cardinal utility approach. And we know this approach had a few disadvantages. So in order to overcome these disadvantages, we are taking a new approach. In this approach, the consumer does not say how many utils he derived. Instead, the consumer ranks the goods. That is, the consumer will be capable of telling what combinations of two goods give him the same level of satisfaction. Okay, this is the basic thing with this method. Now, there are a few assumptions to this method. First, consistency. This means that if today the consumer prefers X over Y, then tomorrow he will not prefer Y over X. So the consumer's choices will be same, means they will be consistent, they will not vary. Then we are coming to the soft transitivity. Okay, now transitivity means if today X is preferred over Y and Y is preferred over Z, then X will be preferred over Z. Okay, X is preferred over Y and Y is preferred over Z, then X will be preferred over Z. Then the third thing is rationality. What does this mean? This is one of the basic assumptions of economics, so I don't think I need to tell you each time. What this assumption means is the consumer will have the tendency to maximize his satisfaction to however much he can with his money income. Given his money income, the consumer will allocate so that he has maximum satisfaction. No consumer will tell, I don't want maximum satisfaction, I want only less. Then the fourth one is monotonicity or monotonic preference. What is this? See, if one bundle has 1 unit of good X and 2 units of good Y, and another bundle has 2 units of good X and 2 units of good Y, the second bundle will be preferred. Why? Because it has more of at least one good and no less of the other. So the consumer will prefer more to less. So these are the 4 assumptions of this approach. Now we are coming to one of the basic concepts of this approach, that is the indifference curve. What is this curve? It has 2 axes, X and Y, and we are good X and good Y. What does this curve do? This curve shows the combinations of two goods which yield the same level of satisfaction to the consumer. The curve, shape of the curve will be like this. Okay, it will not touch either of the axes. Okay, because if it touches the y-axis, which will mean that the consumer is getting same level of satisfaction upon consuming just good Y. If the consumer is getting here, he will get the same level of satisfaction on this, all the whole of the curve. But why does that consumer need to consume X when he is getting the same level of satisfaction just by consuming Y? So it will not touch either of the axes. Now the properties of the curve are, first it is downward sloping. Okay, it is downward sloping. Why? Consumer needs to maintain the same level of satisfaction. So in order to increase the consumption of good X, the consumer will have to give up some of goodwill. Then the second property is, let's say there are two indifference curves. Okay, 1 and 2. 2 has more of at least one good. If you see this, it has more of at least one good and no less of the other. So higher the curve, higher the satisfaction. Why? Because of the property of monotonic preferences. Then it is convex to the origin. This is one of the basic properties of the indifference curve. See, why is this convex? Because the slope of the indifference curve is decreasing. See, suppose first in the beginning the consumer will be willing to give 4 units of goodwill in order to get 1 unit of good debt. Why? Because the consumer is yearning for good debts. But slowly as it go on and go on, the consumer will be willing to give up less and less of Y in order to get good debts. So the consumer will be having less and less tendency to give up good Y because Y is getting cash. So the slope will be reducing. This slope is called the marginal rate of substitution of X for Y, MR is XY. Okay. This is the slope of the indifference curve and this slope will go on decreasing. This is one of the basic properties of the indifference curve. Now we are coming to another diagram. That is, we are getting that consumer needs to maximize satisfaction through indifference curve. So what is the constraint that will help us to determine the level of equilibrium? Of course, the budget line. X, O and Y. So good X and good Y. What is this budget line? Budget equation you will know from the earlier lesson. Px into X plus Py into Y is equal to M. Px is the price of good debts, X is the quantity of good debts, Py is the price of goodwill, Y is the quantity of goodwill, and M is the money income of the consumer. And the slope of this budget line will be equal to Px by Py. Okay, so the budget line will come something like this. Now, how can we determine the level of equilibrium? So I will show you. Okay, and this Px by Py ratio, I said Px by Py, the slope of the budget line. This is called the marginal rate of exchange. Okay, now how can we determine the level of equilibrium? Say we have X, O and Y. Good X, good Y. Say we have 3 indifference curves. Okay, each yielding the consumer different levels of satisfaction. And we have the budget line like this. Okay, let's say the budget line is touching this curve at this point and here. Okay, now how can we determine the level of equilibrium? The basic conditions for the level of equilibrium is that the budget line should be tangent to the indifference curve at the equilibrium point. Okay. In this curve, the budget line is touching the curve at 2 points. That can't happen because the budget line should touch the highest indifference curve. So here look, at this point let's say it is N. At N, the budget line is tangent to the indifference curve. What will happen at this point of tangency? The slope of both these indifference curve and the budget line will be same. That is MRS XY equal to Px by Py. This is the condition for equilibrium of a consumer. Okay, at this point N, the consumer will be at equilibrium. So indifference curve shows the possible combinations of two goods which yield the same level of satisfaction, and budget line shows the combinations of two goods the consumer can afford with given prices and the money income of the consumer. When both the curves have the same slope, that is MRF xy is equal to Px by Py, the consumer will be at equilibrium. Now, one final thing, we have learned two approaches. One is the cardinal utility approach and another one is this approach. What is the relationship between these two? Is there any relation? See, if the consumer is willing to give up 4 units of Y in order to get 1 unit of X as per indifference curve approach, which will mean that the marginal utility which the consumer derives from this X is 4 times that he derives from Y. So, it can be expressed as MRS XY is equal to MUX by MUY. Because if the consumer derives 4 times the satisfaction of good Y from good X, the consumer will be willing to give up 4 units of good Y in order to get 1 unit of good X. So as we go on down the indifference curve, the slope will be decreasing. And we know the condition for equilibrium, MRS xy is equal to Px by Py. That is MUX by MUY is equal to Px by Py. Now we are shifting is, that is we are taking cross multiplying, and MUX by Px is equal to MUY by Py. What is this? This is the condition for equilibrium under the cardinal utility approach. This is how the two approaches are related. Now let us summarize what we have learned in this lecture. First, we learned what is this approach. This approach is called ordinal utility approach. In this approach, the consumer will rank the goods based on the satisfaction that he has derived. Next, we came to the assumptions of this approach. Basically, they are transitivity, consistency, rationality, and monotonic preference. Then we came to the indifference curve. What is this curve? It shows the possible combinations of two goods which yield the same level of satisfaction to the consumer. Its properties are, it is downward sloping, a higher indifference curve means higher level of satisfaction, and it is convex to the origin due to the law of diminishing MRS xy. Then we came to the equilibrium condition. What is it? The budget line should be tangent to the indifference curve at the point of equilibrium, or MRS xy equal to Px by Py. So friends, this is the end of this session. In the next session, I will be covering the adjustment mechanism of the two approaches as well as a few questions in order to make you understand how to determine the level of consumer's equilibrium given information about the consumption pattern and utility derived. So friends, till then, stay safe. Thank you.